People always said Chrissy would stay by Jim's side no matter what. They believed she would never leave him. But today, Chrissy isn't standing by anyone. She was seen in the middle of a busy street, down on her knees, crying so hard that paramedics had to pick her up off the sidewalk. Just a few hours before, Jim Jones was taken out of his studio in handcuffs, embarrassed, and shown to the world. And the worst part? It wasn't the media or police who exposed him. It was his own people. Cameron's side of the family, they didn't just leak a little clip. They released everything. Voice notes, deleted texts, hotel security footage from a place Chrissy didn't even know about. It was all posted from a secret account and went viral within minutes. Then came an even bigger shock. One of the recordings didn't even have Jim's voice. It was someone very close to Chrissy. And what they said made it seem like Chrissy's whole relationship with Jim was fake from the start. This wasn't just a fight. It was deep betrayal. Harlem went crazy. Social media exploded. Chrissy whispered something that made even the police freeze. She said, "He told me this would happen if I ever told the truth." And just when people thought it couldn't get worse, it did. Word spread that Chrissy was being followed, not by fans or reporters, but by something much more serious. Insiders said Cameron's cousin, who used to work private security for a top politician, had put together a team to watch her every move. The fear on Chrissy's face was clear. She was seen at a gas station in New Jersey, pacing back and forth, talking quickly on the phone, looking terrified. Everyone could tell something was very wrong. Then it got even worse. Cameron's aunt, the same one who had argued with Chrissy at a BET event years ago, leaked a handwritten letter to a gossip blog. In it, she said Chrissy had secretly told the police about a meeting Jim had with old friends who were already under investigation. If that's true, it's not just betrayal, it's war. The letter was real. It had a date, a signature, and anger in every line. One line from it blew up across the internet. Chrissy always knew Jim couldn't survive in the streets. Now she's trying to save herself. Rumors went wild. Blogs and social media exploded. Black Twitter made Chrissy trend overnight. One user said, "If El Chapo's girl cried on Instagram after snitching, I wouldn't believe it either." Another said, "She cried too hard? That's guilt, not sadness." And just when people thought it couldn't get crazier, Cameron's family dropped a video. They called it The Final Straw. It was edited like a Netflix documentary. In the video, Jim was seen on a rooftop lounge handing an envelope to a man in a hoodie. There was no sound, just silence. 5 minutes later, Chrissy was caught on camera getting out of an Uber, looking around nervously. Moments later, flashing police lights showed up, and Jim was arrested in handcuffs. The caption on the video said, "The real story is hidden. She knew. She led him there." Theories flooded TikTok, Reddit, and YouTube. Some said Chrissy set Jim up, others said she was tricked. One popular post broke it down like a movie. Chrissy convinces Jim to meet his old friends, tells him when and where, knowing the feds were watching, and then shows up crying after he's arrested. People believed it. Even Mona Scott, who usually stays quiet during drama, posted a story saying, "Sometimes silence protects the guilty." Fans thought she was talking about Chrissy. Then another rumor popped up. Some people said Chrissy opened a secret bank account 2 days before Jim got arrested. They said she received $250,000 from a company linked to Cameron's family. Screenshots of the transfer were posted online. One person wrote, "She sold out her man for money and fame." The internet went crazy. Some people believed Chrissy had been working with the government all along. Others thought she was just scared Jim would leave her for someone younger and made a deal to save herself. Nobody knew the full truth, but everyone agreed on one thing. It was a total disaster. Insiders said Jim, now sitting in jail, was refusing to answer any of Chrissy's calls. Chrissy had stayed with Jim through all his ups and downs, career problems, fights, and breakups. But now, he wouldn't even answer her calls. Things felt cold and distant. As the court date got closer, Chrissy was seen going to church twice, in 1 week. She wore sunglasses even at night and kept her head down. People close to her said she was hardly sleeping, barely eating, and always checking her phone like she was waiting for more bad news. Just when it seemed things couldn't get worse, Cameron's sister got involved too. Someone posted a black and white photo of Chrissy and Jim with a broken heart emoji and the words, "You knew better." The post blew up, getting over 80,000 likes in less than 2 hours. The comments were a mess. Some people told Chrissy to tell the truth, others defended her, and a few even asked for a reunion show to explain everything. Chrissy had always been known as the strong one, the woman who survived all the craziness of reality TV. She and Jim had been through so much that their relationship seemed unbreakable. But behind the scenes, it wasn't perfect. The public didn't see the real struggles, the late-night fights, the silent fears. Chrissy had stood by Jim through his legal troubles, dangerous connections, and constant threats. She thought she knew the life they built together. But when Jim was arrested and handcuffed, Chrissy's world shattered. Outside the courthouse, everything she believed in fell apart. It wasn't just about Jim's arrest. It was about all the things she didn't know. People she trusted, even those she thought were family, turned against her. Cameras flashed everywhere and social media exploded with rumors. Then Cameron's family dropped something even worse. Private conversations between Jim and his friends were leaked, and soon after, videos came out. The videos were blurry but real. In one, Jim argued with someone about plans that had nothing to do with Chrissy. The truth hit Chrissy like a wave. She could hardly breathe. Her phone wouldn't stop buzzing, message after message warning her that Cameron's family had even more evidence, not just against Jim, but against her too. The same people she once called family were now tearing her down. Chrissy tried to stay strong, but soon she couldn't hold back the tears. Her strong front slipped away. As more leaks flooded the internet, everyone had an opinion. Some people felt sorry for her, others blamed her for being part of Jim's troubles. Chrissy herself didn't even know what to say. She kept asking herself the same painful question. Did she ever really know Jim at all? The media painted her as the loyal but heartbroken woman. But the photos, texts, and videos were just the start. Back home, Chrissy faced an even bigger battle, trying to protect her private life while strangers ripped it apart. Every friend, every connection now seemed suspicious. Jim's arrest wasn't the end. It was only the beginning of something much worse. But something didn't feel right. Chrissy kept wondering, if Jim was involved in something so serious, why had Cameron's family waited until now to expose it? What were they really trying to do? Now Chrissy wasn't just fighting for Jim, she was fighting for herself. The next day, Chrissy met with her lawyer. She walked in feeling crushed. Then the lawyer leaned in and said something that changed everything. "We've been watching Cameron's family for a while. They planned this. The evidence they leaked isn't random. It's part of something much bigger." Chrissy's heart dropped. Her mind raced. Who was behind all this? What did they want? Was Jim even the man she thought she loved? Days passed. Rumors grew crazier. Chrissy barely ate, barely slept, and checked her phone 100 times a day, waiting for the next blow. Deep down, she knew there was more to the story. And then it happened. Late one night, Chrissy got a text from an unknown number. It was short and terrifying. "The truth is worse than you think. You have been set up." With shaking hands, Chrissy clicked the link. A new video loaded, one no one had seen before. But this time, it wasn't Jim on screen. It was one of Jim's closest friends sitting with Cameron. Their conversation was clear. Jim wasn't supposed to fall. It was part of a plan to destroy everything he built. The worst part? Chrissy was right there in the background, totally unaware of what was happening around her. When the video ended, Chrissy sat frozen. Her world collapsed again. Now she knew the truth. She had been used and betrayed. She wasn't just caught in the middle of the chaos. She was at the center of a huge conspiracy. That night, everything Chrissy thought she knew about Jim, about her life, about herself, broke into pieces. Jim wasn't just her partner. He had been a pawn in a dangerous plan made by the very people she once trusted with her life. In the middle of it all, Chrissy was trapped between loyalty, betrayal, and a desperate need to find the real truth. The video was chilling. Cameron, the man who once called Jim his brother, was laughing with Jim's own friend. At first, their talk seemed normal, but it quickly became clear they were plotting something dark that would destroy lives. And in the background was Chrissy, smiling, clueless about the storm coming her way. Chrissy kept replaying the video. Her heart raced, her mind filled with painful questions. Why hadn't she seen the signs? How long had Cameron's family been planning this? Was she just a pawn too? The truth was bigger, darker, and more twisted than she had ever imagined. She was just having fun when the video went viral and tons of messages started coming in. Every gossip website and social media page was talking about Chrissy, but it wasn't the support she needed. The comments were full of hate, blame, and crazy guesses. People asked if she was part of the plan. They wondered how much she really knew about Jim's secret life. Chrissy couldn't even look at her phone anymore. It felt like the whole world had turned against her. And the one person she needed most, Jim, was locked up in jail, not saying a word, leaving her to face everything alone. But Chrissy wasn't the type to give up easily. She had survived worse. She had lived her life in front of cameras, dealing with every storm that came her way. And if there was one thing Chrissy knew how to do, it was survive. The woman who tried to protect her private life was now being dragged into the biggest public fight she had ever faced. She knew she had to act. Late at night, with no one to lean on, Chrissy made a choice that would change everything. She decided to go straight to the source. She reached out directly to Cameron. It was risky. Cameron was powerful and had his own reasons for everything he did. But Chrissy wasn't afraid anymore. She wanted answers. She had to ask for them herself. The phone call was tense. Every word felt heavy, like there was a hidden danger. At first, Chrissy's voice shook, but she quickly found her courage. "I know what you've been doing," she said. "I know you're the one behind the leaks, the videos, and the lies. I want to know why. Why are you doing this to Jim?" There was a long silence. Chrissy thought he might hang up. But then Cameron spoke, his voice cold and calm. "You don't get it, Chrissy," he said. "It was never about Jim. It's about you. You and your loyalty. You were always standing in the way. You kept protecting him, covering for him, but you never knew the full story, did you?" Chrissy felt her heart sink. "What do you mean?" she whispered. Cameron continued. "Jim is too deep into things. He made deals with people you don't even know about. You were blinded by love, and now it's too late. There's no going back." Chrissy gripped the phone tighter. "So you want to ruin him? Ruin us?" "No," Cameron said. "I'm not ruining anything. I'm just showing the truth. The truth Jim has been hiding from you for a long time." The call ended suddenly. Chrissy stood there, her mind spinning. Cameron had confessed, but Chrissy knew he was still hiding something. She felt there was a much bigger plan behind all of this, and she wasn't going to just sit back and let her life fall apart. In the days that followed, Chrissy didn't hide. She started digging into Cameron's past, his connections, his real plans. She pieced everything together, little by little. and what she found shocked her. This wasn't just about old fights or drama. It was about money, power, and control. Cameron's family, and others, had been playing a dangerous, long-term game. They used Jim like a pawn. They didn't just want revenge. They wanted everything. But the worst part came later. Chrissy found out that the videos, photos, and messages weren't just real. They had been edited, twisted, and changed. They weren't just meant to hurt Jim. They were meant to destroy her too, to make her doubt everything and everyone. Chrissy realized the fight was much bigger than she thought. She wasn't just fighting for her relationship anymore. She was fighting for her life, her truth, and her future. And one thing was clear: Chrissy wasn't going to let anyone take it away without a fight. It feels like we're just beginning to uncover the truth behind this crazy story. Will Chrissy finally reveal what really happened with Jim's arrest? Or are we about to see one of the biggest betrayals ever? One thing's for sure: this story is far from over. Now we want to hear from you. What do you think really happened? Was Chrissy just an innocent person caught in a mess she didn't create? Or is there something even darker happening behind the eye? Scenes? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're as shocked as we are, make sure to hit the like button. You won't want to miss what's coming next. So don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell. We'll be right here bringing you the real, raw truth as it unfolds. Stay tuned, because if you thought this was wild, just wait. The biggest secrets are still waiting to be revealed.